My super mega G's, this right here in front of me is the fastest 911 ever made, the fastest Carrera ever made, and it's absolutely insane. This is my GT2 RS, and what makes it so crazy and insane? Well, let's go and find out everything about it right now. So what makes this car so special? And I think the first thing we need to do is understand what exactly we're looking at. This is yet another version of the Carrera. Exactly. The 911 that everyone complains and has been complaining for 50, 60 years that it looks exactly the fucking same. And when everyone does that, what they're not realizing is that Porsche isn't making a brand new car every year. They're just perfecting the one that they have. So after 50 years of perfecting your German knife, it's ready to slice through meat like crazy. That is the doctor of the track. That's that knife that's gotten so ready and so sharp that will cut everything and anything in its way. And the 2RS is the most extreme car Porsche has ever made. So we understand the 911 now. The 2RS is just literally meant to be the fastest car on earth. The 911 line has like their more hardcore cars that go on the track. Those are the GT3 and the GT2. Those are the two lines that come out of the 911 that are meant to be track monsters. Two different experiences. The GT3 is naturally aspirated. That's what they wanted to do and that's what they've stuck with for a very long time. The GT2 is the turbocharged one. So anytime you think about madness, the GT2 is the one that's gonna have it. The GT2 line as we know it started in early 2000s and it was known as the Widowmaker. It was a very scary car to drive because it's a rear-wheel drive car just like this one, 6-cylinder just like this one, 2 turbos just like this one. It had a lot less power back then obviously, and this one weighs a lot less now too, but it didn't have traction control, it didn't have stability control. It was literally a Widowmaker. That's what they called it, the Widowmaker. And in today's world, nothing in my eyes could be more exciting than being able to get the modern day Widowmaker and see what it's like. And this is why I was so obsessed with ordering this car. So as you guys can tell by now, the 911 GT2 RS is the top of the line on the 911, which is the most perfected car ever made and the fastest one ever made. So this right here that I'm sitting on should be the greatest 911 ever. So now we're gonna take a look at the car from the outside, and the first thing you're gonna notice is all those holes, all those cuts, and all that carbon fiber that this car has alongside with a ginormous wing on the back. Why? Because this is supposed to be an extreme car for the track, so it needs a lot of downforce. How did Porsche achieve that downforce? Obviously some active aero bits, but most importantly with cuts on the car. If you guys look at the front lip, this massive lip that sticks out so much is just to grab more air and keep the car more planted and cool it down too at the same time. It says GT2 RS really nicely right there, but the shape right here, really similar to the one of a GT3. Again, we're talking about aero bits and it's all over the place. I mean, you guys see them. Now on the hood, those are the new ones that Porsche is putting on all of their cars. These are available also on the GT3 RS and I think they look super mean. Obviously, they're functional. They're not just there for anything other than keeping the car down and having air go by and cool the car too. Also, if you guys see this is just like the Turbo exclusive series. This is the first time Porsche got to play with carbon fiber at this level. They definitely see what everybody else is doing and they want to jump into that carbon fiber game too. So aside from the exclusive, this is the first time Porsche really did all of that carbon fiber and it really goes everywhere. You guys see it up here and then it closes right here. And what I love is that it's there and it's there. Whew. The carbon work from Porsche is pretty good, although I'd love to see some cars in full carbon soon. Everything about this car is all about weight savings. And if you guys look at the front logo right here, that's a sticker. They didn't even put the actual logo on the car, the badge. No, they just wanted to do the Porsche logo on a sticker because it saves weight. They're not fucking around. They're not dumb. They need every single kilo off this car. Following the line right here, you're gonna see even more aero bits, but before I jump into the aero bits, let me take your attention right here to these wheels, because these wheels are magnesium wheels. These are $13,000 wheels on this car, and they are a big part of why the WiseTech package is so expensive. And honestly, they did a very smart thing. They separated the cost between this and the WiseTech package. WiseTech package was only $18,000. The wheels were $13,000, so they were actually able to charge more for the wheels and the WiseTech package without telling anyone. So that's brilliant, Porsche. But the purpose of these wheels is they're lighter and more resistant. They're way better for performance. And if you think about it, what is the one piece of the car that makes the car move? And it's the tires. Whatever you're putting on the ground, that's what really makes the car go. So this is a very important part of this car. So you need the magnesium wheels in order to get the full WISAC experience. And I love that there's technology in those. The brakes are carbon ceramic brakes because they don't want the brake fade to happen on the track. You can go as many times as you want. They're noisy as shit like every other carbon ceramic brake, but god damn it, do they stop the car. And from the wheel, let me direct your attention into the louver right here, which is gorgeous carbon fiber. Really gives it a whole different feel, making it so long like this, so that no air gets trapped in here. There's no turbulence on the front, and the car can be planted as fuck, so not letting any air get trapped in there. So all the air is gonna flow through here. You're gonna see the side skirt, which is made just exactly the same material that the bumper was made of, and then some carbon fiber mirrors, which are optional, and then you're gonna see this right here. That's an other air intake for the engine and for the car to keep down and cool. But before that, let me show you something really cool. These new Porsches, these new RSs have this beautiful back. Even the GT3 has it. The air comes from there and then keeps the car planted while the engine is cooling down, and god damn it, that huge wing, god, whew. So everything is all about those things. Aero. Then you go from here and you look at the backside and you're gonna look at those exhausts, which are massive and so beautiful. For the first time ever, I want to say this rear end is perfect, and there's so much air stuff happening here. I love insane engineering, and Porsche knows how to engineer the shit out of their cars. Also, another funny thing that I don't know why it's so weird to me. In my 918, I don't know if you guys remember, it had like some wings back here that came out. This doesn't have that. They're just against the... I don't know, but I really do think they look cool. Really cool. And getting into the interior of a car, it's gonna look like just pretty much every other 911. There's no question about that, and that's not a bad thing. These cars are solid. So let me just generalize a little bit here. You see all the Alcantara materials, all the beautiful carbon fiber, and the leather is obviously premium. One thing that changes, obviously, for example, from the 911R is these right here. Those get rid of the door handles, so you don't have to click that, and it's heavier than just rope. Also, speaking of weight savings, these floor mats, and I'm so sorry for the mess there, are all carbon fiber alongside with some leather. These are $980 and they look amazing, but as you can tell, not very convenient, but who gives a shit? And right there, I also spent some extra money on putting those pedals there because that's not stock, and I think it was well worth it. They look insane. Not a lot of companies throw their money to the pedals, and I think more should. Obviously, if you got a WISAC car, you're gonna get the bucket seats because it's all about weight savings. It's about driving it hard on the track and being able to do so. These seats are amazing, and let me tell you a little fun thing. You see the seats back there, the little thing that says 2RS, and there's like two little seats back there and people go crazy over them? Those seats are not really seats. Those are just there for insurance purposes. And obviously, getting inside of the car, everything is just destined and meant to be driven hard. There's no buttons on the steering wheel. All you need is your paddle shifts. Then back here you have your gauges, your revs, how fast you're going, you know, oil pressure, all that good stuff, fuel levels, and then this is your screen for all of the menus that you're gonna see. But this car is not about its gimmicks, it's more about its performance. Amazing interior, and the build quality is dope. Also, the car has a beautiful touchscreen, which is very responsive, and it works really nicely. There's no question about it. I love the new generation displays of Porsche. They're fucking on point, but that's not the most important thing about this car. I think the most important thing about this car lives right here, which is all of the options that you're gonna need in order to go fast. So first of all, PDK is the transmission in the car. PDK Sport means put the car in sport. Essentially, when the transmission goes in sport, the car goes in sport. It's a 7-speed transmission for it. It also has a suspension mode. You have traction control with all the stuff off, your exhaust so you can make it loud, it should always be on, and the lift up and down. Those are the important things about this car, and right now let me show you two really funny things. And just like the BMW M4 GTS, which is one of the most hated cars today, this car also has a distilled water tank. That's right, I don't know how many miles you have to go through in order to keep refilling the whole thing, but this is just not my thing. You gotta keep adding more stuff to cars now. I think it's funny and it's honestly sleek as fuck looking, but not my thing. And the second one is I had to get an extended fuel tank. And why? Every single car maker is obsessed with weight saving, so they're trying to save some weight, but every car has such a small tank. The 720S, the AMG GTR, the Huracan Performante. It's not fun. Thank you, Porsche, for doing the extended tank. Honestly, it's really well worth it, but I'm just gonna shut my mouth and let's go drive it because that's what this thing is all about. A year ago in Goodwood, I placed an order for this car because I always wanted to have a GT2, and especially a 2RS. Why? Because it's the most mental car Porsche has ever built. At least the most mental 911. And to me, that carries a lot of weight because of what I said. This is a car that Porsche has been perfecting for over 50 years. To the point where it's mental how great every single one of these versions is. This car has 700 horsepower that come out of a 6-cylinder engine with 2 turbochargers on it. I mean, it doesn't weigh shit. It's a Weissach car, so it even saves 30 kilos, which is about 60 pounds. This is an example of pure driving excitement. This is a car that's meant to be raw. This is a car that's meant to be dangerous. It's called the Widowmaker. It's a rear-wheel drive car, 7-speed automatic, and you need it to be automatic because it's so fucking fast. So what am I expecting from this car? And this is why I bought it. I expect nothing more than the ultimate track weapon. I expect the ultimate feel. I expect the ultimate acceleration. I expect the ultimate braking. It pretty much does all of those things rather fucking well. Look at this. The noise is there, everything is there, dude. If you could see the camera and how fast I was going right there, you won't believe it. I don't know how Porsche made this car also sound so great. It doesn't sound just like a twin turbo 6-cylinder engine. It sounds like a beefy, meaty engine, and it rumbles and it pops and it's great. The steering is fucking phenomenal like any other Porsche. Why? Because you can place the car anywhere you want. The rear wheel steering is phenomenal. It makes the car so agile and nimble. It feels like a shark in water changing direction. It's just like that. It feels just like that Huracan changing direction on a rear wheel drive car. It's fucking mental, people. Absolutely bananas. So did Porsche accomplish everything they set out to do? I'm gonna tell you this. Porsche's done everything to a level so extremely extreme, if you will, where you put the car in comfort and it's going to be super comfortable and easy to drive, basically a daily. If you're just going on the freeway, whoever's riding in the car with you is not going to believe this is a $350,000 Porsche, because it feels like not just like any other 911, but it does feel like just any other 911. But when everything goes in sport and you push it in the canyons, the performance is so ridiculous. And when I say so ridiculous, you guys please pay attention to this. So fucking ridiculous and out of control and out of this world that I was going up the canyons this morning with Buddy just to get some shots and get used to the car and really get to know the car. I was doing 3 times the speed limit on every corner, and the car just does it so easily. You know that there's so much more for the car that can do. It makes you feel like you're not doing enough. And I think that's why Porsche didn't make this car an exclusive car. And I don't think Porsche wanted to make this car a limited edition car, because I don't think people will understand how special and how difficult it is for Porsche to do everything that they did in this car and give it so much performance that to the regular person it just won't make sense. It's an exciting car, but at the same time, it does feel like you're not doing anything. It lets you know how shitty of a driver you are, that there's so much more room for performance that you'll never touch. And while I understand that there's room for performance that I'll never touch in the 720S, I can feel it. I can feel that it's there. I can feel what I'm doing, and I can tell that I'm gonna die. This feels so fucking good. I don't feel any of that. And in return, I feel like that's gonna make this car really dangerous, because a lot of people are gonna feel very confident and comfortable pushing it. And I bet you that the moment the fucking thing snaps, it's gonna end up on a bad story. So at $350,000 price, is it worth it for me to keep this car in the garage? This car doesn't do anything that my 720S doesn't do. Allow me to show you. Oh my God! Goodbye! Also, this car doesn't do anything that the Performante doesn't bring in excitement. Allow me to show you.
Oh, that sound.
That can't be.
Oh my God! What?
So let me ask you this. Porsche made this a limited run for a year for the car. Is it worth keeping over the other cars? Is it more exciting and raw than the Performante? Nope. Is it faster than the 720S on a straight line and on the turns? No. Is it a fucking amazing 911? Absolutely. It's just not the car. I think the buy here and the rarer car and the car that people are going to enjoy the most is the 3RS, the brand new 3RS. I love this car. I completely understand everything that Porsche built it for, but having the other cars right now, I can tell you without regret, because when the car got here yesterday, I was so sad that I liked it so much. But after I drove it, I can tell you easily, I can treat Porsche the way they've treated me as a customer, because you guys know, most people say that they treat me like a car flipper, and that's ridiculous, because I'd love to know if anyone can come up with a list of cars that I flipped and made money on. I'd appreciate that and would love to see that. There's 1 or 2 cars I've made money on that I sold a year after I bought. That's about it. Everything else I try to stay even. This is not a car for me. And Porsche gave me the car, gave me the runaround. I was supposed to be getting this car within the first allocations around April or whatever, because this is a car that I really dreamed about. I was really excited about it, and then they pushed me and shoved me to the end of the line. And then they told me that I couldn't get the color that I was requesting, and that I was just gonna get whatever fucking thing that they had available. And I gotta tell you guys, after that, and after knowing that no one answered to me and my questions about like, where the fuck is my car, what's going on with my car for so long, I don't feel bad for selling it. I actually don't feel bad at all after driving it. Not because it's not great. Again, this is easily the best 911 ever. But is the best 911 ever the best move for Porsche today? I think the 3RS is. I think the 3RS will be that, not this car. This is not for me. I already have it sold. I sold it for $15,000 over, for those of you who care, because Porsche overproduced the car. And in my head, it doesn't make any sense that this car is more expensive and over sticker than a 720S. The 720S is more comfortable, which this car is also comfortable right now. It's also quiet when it wants to be, but it's loud, it's mental, it's faster, and it performs in all areas way better. And it has fucking doors that go up. So at the same price, at the same rate, at the same everything, I didn't even have to go to the Performante or even have to go to the AMG GTR to get rid of this car from my garage. All I had to do was look at the McLaren. Mind you, McLaren also won't sell me special edition cars or anything, and I fucking hate them as a company and love their cars. The AMG GTR is the best car for your buck performance-wise, and the Performante for excitement. This just falls right in between for everything, and now that makes total sense as to why Porsche didn't make this the special limited edition car that everyone wanted it to be. Because for the first time ever, and this is mind-fucking, guys, we have a car that's so good that it makes you feel irrelevant sitting behind the wheel of it. And I'm just gonna leave you guys with that. Porsche, thank you very much for all the years of good fun. I absolutely love your cars. I love your Carrera GT. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not an idiot. I'm not the guy that fuck Nike and burns his own Nikes. I'm not that guy. But I also don't have to put up with anything and anyone. And if I'm paying someone $400,000, I want it in the way I wanted it, and I want it in the color that I wanted it. Not at your pace, and not changing everything in my plan, and not throwing publicity your way, because it's weird how whenever it's positive and I just say positive things for a full year, no one gives me anything. But the moment the fucking asshole comes out, y'all get fucking bent over and just go, please just let me have it. I don't understand it. I'm not here to treat you guys like that. I'm just here to fucking do what I'm supposed to do, which is give you an unbiased opinion as to what this fucking car is and how I feel about it. And dead serious, the best 911 ever made. Is it the best move ever for Porsche? I don't think so, and I know because of that you guys think this is a little compromised of a review, but this is honestly the most honest one that I've seen online. So, I want to leave you with that, guys. I hope you enjoy. My name is Alejandro, and I think this is a car channel. Take care.